Good evening. Today we will look at a problem called the two-sum problem. It's quite a famous problem in computer science, especially having applications in computer graphics as a generalized case-sum or a three-sum problem. But we will look at the two-sum problem, which is basically a simple version. And by looking at this problem and its solution, we will be able to generalize well to the case-sum problem. So what exactly is the two-sum problem says? So let's say you have an array of positive integers, right? And we need to find a pair, right? If exists, right? The pair could exist or need not exist, but we need to find a pair that sum up to the target number, and we need to return the indices of those two numbers, right? So in this example that you have a input array 2, 7, 11, 15 and 20. So we assume that the given input array is a sorted array, and we want to check if we are able to make the target sum of 22 by using the elements present in the input array. In this example, it is possible. So the pairs 2 and 20 add up to the target 22, and we return the value, basically the indices of those numbers 2 and 20, which is nothing but 0 and 4, with the array index notation starting at 0. So there is another pair in this input which adds up to 0, which is 7 and 15. And the indices are 1 and 3, but for this problem we just written the first instance that adds up to the sum. So let's start with the brute force approach. So just put the array for a better visualization, and you could see the indexes on the top of each of the element, and we start by evaluating in a brute force way all the possible pairs, right? So we evaluate every possible pair that could be formed by this input array and check whether that possible pair yields the target sum that we are looking for. And this case I'm just making the target as 23 because we know that we can't make this, but we will know, right, while evaluating for a target which doesn't exist, how many pairs we need to evaluate, which will give us an idea or intuition around the worst case complexity. So I and j are the two pointers which try to go through this array, trying to evaluate each of the pairs. And starting with 2, so we evaluate 2, 7, 2, 11, 2, 15 and 2, 20, which are the 4 pairs. And going to 7, there are 3 pairs which we evaluate, and with 11 there are 2 pairs, and with 15 there is 1 pair, right? So basically we evaluate 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, right, for an array of size 5, right? So being an array of size n, so if we have to exhaust and evaluate all the possible pairs, it will be n minus 1 plus n minus 2 up to n, right? So it's a sum of first n minus 1 integers in an array of size n would be the number of pairs that we would have to evaluate in the worst case. And by the sum of n integers formula, it is in the higher order term, right? The driving factor, the asymptotically, it is order of n square, right? So in the worst case complexity. So now let's think of a better way of solving this problem, right? So what is the better approach, right? So we start from this array, right? So I change the target to 22 back. So let's take the number 2, right? So the first number in the array is 2. So now 2 can yield a target sum of 22 only by pairing with 22 minus 2, which is 20. So if 2 is an element that is present in the array, so we will be able to form the sum 22 if and only if 20 is present in the array, right? So for every element we need to search if the difference from the target is present in the array, right? So in the case of 2 we search for 20, right? In the case of 7 we will search for 22 minus 7, and in case of 11 we will search for 11, like 22 minus 11, right? So it will be the absolute difference which we will be searching for, right? And the target can be achieved only if the remainder of the element is going to be present in the array, right? So provided that the input is sorted, the search for the element can be done in log n comparison, right? So how log n? Because every time you cut the array size by half, right? So that's the idea of binary search. So you cut the array size by half. In log n cuts you will exhaust the array, right? So if the total number of elements in the array is n, so you cut the array by half every time, then in log n number of times you will be finishing up the entire array. So that's the reason to search for every complement element it takes log n searches, right? So if there are n elements in the array, it takes n log n searches. So that's the worst case complexity of the better approach, right? So which was quadratic in the brute force way, we turned into a linear arithmetic way, right? Order of n log n. the key code snippets, right? So we look at the actual code. The key code snippet is we start from every element of the array, starting from the index 0, and we go through the entire length of the array, and we compute the search key, right? So how do we compute the search key? We try to get the target, right? So how much is the difference of the target from the elements value that we are having, right? So it should be absolute. I didn't put it here, but we just try to see how much is the how much is the difference between the target and the element, right? And we try to see if the search key, is present in if the difference between the target and the data is present in the array using a binary search routine, right, which you would implement. And if the binary search returns a value which is not 1, then it means that this complementary value, that particular index, is present in the array, and that is what we are looking for. We return those two indexes, otherwise we return, right? So let's look at an actual code implementation of this problem, right? So let's look at the code implementation and we will try to understand. So here I have, right, it's a TwoSum class, and I have the same input 2, 7, 11, 15 and 20, and I want to check for the target 22. So let's go to the brute force approach, right? So in the brute force approach, we start from I starts from the first index and j start from the subsequent next index, and we evaluate every possible path. So I comma j is the every possible path that we are evaluating if it is equal to the target. If the path is found, we just break it and get out of the array. Otherwise, we just keep iterating it until we find, and then we return it, right? So that is the brute force approach. And let's look at the better approach, right? So in the better approach, we start from 0 and go through all the elements in the array. We just basically go through all the n elements in the array, but every time we try to compute how much is the target different from the absolute value, right? So this should be the math dot absolute, right? So we can change it. So we just try to see if the complement is present in that. So as long as the complement is present, right, how do we figure out whether the complement is present? We try to do a binary search. We try to see if this key is present in the data array. So let's have a quick look at the binary search implementation. So the binary search takes the key and is trying to check whether the key is present in this array. So the range of what we need to search is between the 0th index and the length minus 1, right? Because it's 0 to n minus 1. So if the key is present, what we will return is the index, which could be 1 between 0 and the n minus 1, or we just return minus 1. So as long as the low pointer doesn't cross over the high, we compute the middle element, and if the middle element is equal to the key, we return the mid. But if the middle element is greater than the key, then if the key is going to be present, it should be present in the lower half of the array. So we change the high pointer to the mid minus 1, and if the middle element is less than the key, then if the key is going to be present, it should be present in the upper half of the array. So we reset the low pointer to mid plus 1. So in this approach, we keep on iterating this, and we just return this. So let's try to run this program, right? So we just give this, and then let's just run this program. And in both the approaches, we get that 0, 4, right? So 2 and 20 yield the sum 22, and because we break after we find the first instance that adds to 22, the target, we just break out of the loop, right? So the program could be modified to find out all the paths that give the target sum, right? And like I said, the two-sum problem can be easily generalized to a case-sum problem, right? So if you want to find the 3 numbers in an array which sum up to the target, so you will be doing a double iteration, nested iteration here, but the I plus j, the pair sum subtracted from the target, is what you will be doing a binary search on. So the order of n log n will be turned out into an order of n square log n in case of a 3-sum problem, and in general in a k-sum problem it will be converted into an order of n power k minus 1 and log n. So it's quite easy, and we just get a linear arithmetic solution, which is by the efficient use of binary search, and the assumption is the array that we get is input sorted, right? So thank you. I hope this was an interesting video, and see you in another video. Thanks.